Hey, call me Shape, and today I'm reacting to a video titled "She's Been with Hundreds of Men and Yet She Still Thinks She's Wife Material." Let's get right into it.
So this was a really good question. Do I seriously date people? Do I keep it casual? Am I interested in dating? If so, how is it for me? It sucks. The more notoriety and fame I acquired, it has definitely been harder to tell who wants to date Britney and who wants access to Miss B Nasty.
Yes, today we venture deep into the corn abyss to study a lost creature that has reached the final stage of 304 ascendants. Like the mythical character Bruce Leroy, she has mastered the uncanny ability to catch money shots in her teeth. My brothers, this is not your regular 10-pump, reverse cowgirl pillow princess. No sir, this is a dark force of nature to be reckoned with. A woman that has joyfully attempted any sick or dark deed your mind could imagine. If, by chance or fate, you survive an encounter with such an entity and live to recount the tale, let it serve as testimony that the Elohim himself has whisked you from the foul breath of demise. In our noble campaign for free tenderloin distribution, I warn you that some of us may encounter this creature in the wild. Hence, your grace will arm you for such an altercation. Now, if you have resisted the urge to dive under your bed and whimper, we shall continue this essential simulation.
Because I've had incidences where people have lied about knowing who I am. I've had incidences with people, like saying they're cool with what I do, but when it comes time to do the paperwork, they're not. I've had people who, didn't like when we went out places, how people would like, oh my God, can I get an autograph? Like, it takes a very special, insecure man to date a corn star.
I mean, let us acknowledge the pink elephant in the room. Somehow, these women who sell their bodies and souls daily feel entitled to kinship, courtship, and marriage. The so-called bar has become a baseboard, and the term secure man has become a derogatory term or a synonym for a man of little or no respect. For what man would seriously date a living, breathing blow-up doll?
And there is not a lot of them out there. You think you can date somebody like me, and then you do. Because like I'm not a regular corn star. I would be considered, a well-known one. Like, I get asked for autographs and stuff all the time. It takes a very secure man to handle that.
Each time you engage in the dark art of simping, every time you place a woman on a pedestal so high.
Why gotta be a secure man? Why can't it be just a man who likes corn stars? Like, we're not insecure because we don't want a corn star. That's not insecure. I just don't want to see I don't want my girl, right, to be being able to seen on camera getting plowed by another man. Especially, you know what I'm saying? Especially another man. It's one thing if you on camera getting plowed by me, baby. Okay, that's a thing, you know what I'm saying? But, somebody, we might have to hit somebody with revenge corn or something, a lawsuit or whatever. But I'm not talking about that, right? I'm not talking about leaks and video leaks. I'm talking about your profession is to get railed out. Now, I'm for all women who have the liberty to become corn stars. That is your freedom. That is your right. OF models, that is your right. However, it is also your right to absorb the consequences that come along with that. And there's a lot. Dating is a part of it as well. But also, you got to constantly, regularly get tested. You got to be worried about getting diseases. There's many consequences that come with it. If you sign up for it, make sure you can deal with all the consequences. And I think a lot of women can because, well, they think they can. They think the money looks great. They think the fame looks great. Then they realize how dating gets really hard. But for men, I'm sure it's the opposite. For male corn stars, I'm sure their life is like smooth.
Brushes the heavens. Know this, you are essentially sprinkling metaphorical water on her and transforming her into a full-blown gremlin. Yes, my friend, your idolization is the very magic that fuels the chaos. Case in point.
It really was the Navy. Like, if I have to be completely honest, it was the Navy and then Hooters. Those prepared me for S work. Because in the Navy, I found out that men will do anything for somebody they find conventionally attractive. I never had to lift or do anything. Matter of fact, allegedly, I never had to do a push-up my whole 5 years. I just got a male partner and told him, allegedly, how many I needed to pass. So, I always got extra food in the galley. If I'm carrying something, oh, do you need me to get that for you? Like, that's when I was like, dang, men will really do anything for you when they think you're kind of attractive.
There was a time, my friends, when men held sacred the distinctions between wife, girlfriend, and concubine. It was an unspoken code. Certain acts were reserved for the concubines, the keepers of indulgence, not for the woman entrusted with carrying the royal legacy. These men of old knew better than to blur the lines. The concubines' chambers were a realm of unbridled fantasy, a place where no act was too taboo. After leaving a respectable donation, these women would tend to the third leg of life until it withered into blissful exhaustion. Most importantly, a man can exit this realm without the burden of pillow talk or entangling himself in a cuddle trap. It was a clean transaction, a pleasure without the chains of obligation. But alas, some weak-hearted brethren sought to domesticate this untamable succubus. They tried to convert her from a beast of leisure to a beast of burden, feeding her delusion and empowering the rise of the 304 architect. And so we now suffer the curse of Pandora's for, let's call it the box of nasty B, a punishment for tampering where we should not. Let this be a lesson. Not all things are meant to be tamed.
But what S work has taught me is that it really showed me that you think you can be everything to your partner, but you cannot. Some things that your partner may be into may just be something they know you're not comfortable with. And that is why they seek out people like me.
Some truth. And I wish women would understand it. This is actually a good thing she said, okay? Now, I don't condone or support or anything when it comes to S work. It is your liberty, and I support people's liberties to do it. So therefore, go ahead, girl. Do your thing. But this is definitely great information. You know, it kind of speaks to the fact that as men, we are biologically polygamous by nature. Okay, we want multiple women. And this is what it is. You know, this is why cheating's so common. People are like, oh my God, I got cheated. Like, the next cheating story I hear, I'm just going to be like, why are anyone surprised people are sleeping with more than one person? It's obvious that that's what men want. Women, y'all want monogamy, right? Y'all, let's be one. It used to be one for a lifetime. Now it's one at a time. That's a new, that is the new, like, sacred girl, right? The girl that does one at a time, right? She has a line. She's just not doing the line at the same time. Anyway, I think men are a lot more, they got higher demands for S than women do. And therefore, you know, a lot of married women, they think they can handle all a man's responsibilities and take care of him because he's taking care of her. He's providing for her, all her physical needs, her protection needs. You're fully taken care of. But for us, our S needs, they're not fully taken care of. And it makes sense that she discovers this through S work.
And back in the day, like when I was with my baby daddy, I felt like him viewing this sort of content was just another way of him cheating on me and not choosing me. But now that I'm on the other side of it, I see, like, if your woman is not into backdoor play and she's communicated that with you, of course you might go seek it out elsewhere. Maybe not in person, but maybe digitally. Because it's just your thing. And you have to do what you have to do to make sure all your needs and wants are met. Does that make sense?
Obviously not. But if you want her to tell the truth, just let a woman talk. Eventually, she'll snitch on herself. Here, she will admit that she lives the same curse as Medusa. Even though she has to bend a knee and kiss the ring of the feminist Cosa Nostra, she will attempt to predict the future of all these young aspiring 304s that are jumping on OF.
I feel like, but also because people swear that I'm justifying this type of work. I would never, hear me when I say this, I would never recommend this as a first job for anybody. The girls that are turning 18 and getting immediately into S work, with the exception of those that are trying to survive, because I do acknowledge and recognize that survival S workers exist, and I'm not here to shame you. One band, one sound. You heard me? We the same. Okay. But I would never recommend this as a first job. I would never recommend anybody getting into this that isn't fully aware of what it's going to take. I'm fortunate. My family accepted this. Honestly, this is not far off from my regular antics, okay? My family is accepting. I don't know a lot of other S workers' families that are accepting.
That means her family knew she was a 304 from back in the day. You seen she gave a salute? She's like in solitude with all the S workers, you know? Go ahead, girl, do your thing. And yeah, so it makes sense. She was a little 304. She got in the Navy. She was 304 in the Navy. You know what I'm saying? And when she got out of the Navy, she realized that she could 304 is life. 304 is life. Hey, look, you know, again, I got nothing against 304s. I know a few of them. They're cool. In fact, I'm going to keep it real with you. 304s are some of the chillest girls. I'm going to just be honest with you, because they understand everything. Because you see how she said she's on both sides? She understands men better now because of it, right? And I don't suggest women becoming 304s to understand men, but that's kind of how 304s are. They understand men, and this is why they just give men essentially what they want, because they don't shame them for what they want, right? She's like, all right, you can pay me for this, so I get that you're into backdoor play, your wife's not, so you can backdoor. That's so funny. It's so interesting, right? Very interesting. But you know what? The question really is, how do these women expect to, and I guess she has a baby daddy, but in general become lifelong wives? It doesn't seem like it's an opportunity for many 304s, especially if they're doing S work. I don't know. Would you marry an S worker? I know I wouldn't, because I wouldn't want to be reproducing S work like that. Like I didn't even want to become a mattress actor, right? Adult performer, because I wouldn't want to walk around with that's my identity. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do for a living. I love being a personal trainer. I love being a YouTuber. So this is why it's okay for me to do these jobs, because I'll take everything that comes with being a personal trainer and a YouTuber, which whatever that is. It's probably not much, but whatever it is, I'll take it. But the S work jacket, I can't wear that. But shout out to her. She got to wear it. Shout out to all the women wearing it. You know, we wouldn't even have corn if it wasn't for women. Women are corn all by themselves. They don't even need us whatsoever to create it. OF is a good example of that. But like this video, subscribe to the channel. Channel's blowing up. Make sure you hit the bell notifications, man. Hit the bell notifications. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.